Good morning, everybody. Big Rich. Big Rich, eh? Good morning, Big Rich. Tango Charlie. It's early, by the way. I mean, early's relative, but for the people on the left coast, it's definitely early. Burning Hearth. Juan Solo 777. Nice. PJD, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is my first sip of coffee. Well, I just had my first one. This is my second. Mr. Brees, good morning, brother. Patriot Plumber, good morning, brother. All right. Thank you all for being here. 94,945 of you should definitely sit on a chaise lounge in a skilled mental professional's office and have your head unpacked. But I greatly appreciate you being here. The remaining remnant, good morning. Already, Mitch Morris, good morning, brother. Thank you. Crazy Goat Lady, good morning. Thank you. Dad's getting married Friday. Awesome, brother. That is awesome. Praise the Father. All right. YouTube is back to their old antics. They don't like us. We don't like them. They are steadily, readily, constantly demonetizing our content. The reason they do that has less to do with monetization and more to do with the way that their algorithm works. Their algorithm does not touch content that is not monetized. It's why when I read the Bible and I get a couple thousand hits on that video, I get ecstatic, because that means that that is 2,000 organic views that the algorithm in no way pushed. Well, they do the same thing with the content that we monetize here. They demonetize it so that their algorithm doesn't touch it, meaning that it does not get promoted as suggested content, as next up. It's not at the top of the list of thumbnails, so that the reach of this content is greatly minimized. And that's Big Joe. That is because they don't like the fact that we talk about the things that we talk about every day. And we, frankly, are not radical as far as I'm concerned, but as far as they are concerned, we are. So in light of all of that, please share this. Please do the thumbs up and the like. If you're new here and you want to be here, click the subscribe button. That helps us tremendously. All those things help us tremendously. Iron Man, good morning, brother. Okay, Farm Gal, thank you. Bless you. And then if you're not on Patreon, please consider being on Patreon. It's a great time to be on Patreon. It's the beginning of the month. For $12 a year or more, you have access to roughly 100 pieces of exclusive content, plus everything we do here on YouTube per month. So, there's my little sales pitch this morning. Appreciate you. Intel at barrenindependent.com is where your intel goes to. Does it go to general? No. Does it go to sales? Does it go to Bear? No, it goes to Intel. barrenindependent.com. Andrew, bless you. Air Force retired? I don't know, but sometimes it has to do with your debit card, so you might just get a hold of their customer service. Intel report. Bear Independent. Oath Keeper, bless you, man. Thank you. No, you the man. 2 July 2020, overview. International cases and domestic cases of COVID-19 continue to climb. As of the time of this reporting, the official numbers are as follows. Global cases are 10,746,000, with 4,356,000 active cases. So just about 40% of those cases being active. Global deaths are 517,000. Global recoveries are 5,872,000. U.S. cases are 2,767,000, with 1,482,000 active cases. U.S. deaths are 130,000, and U.S. recoveries are 1,153,000. Now, as we have pointed out repeatedly here, the crux of the issue with these numbers is not necessarily that those numbers are accurate, because we have a lot of indicators that these numbers are not accurate, but that they will be used as the basis for the tyrannical reaction to COVID-19 that will affect your daily life. Legislation and policy will be built around these numbers, whether they are accurate or not. So just remember that. Multiple counties and states, such as California, are reversing policies once again, shuttering bars and dining areas, and masks are becoming law in many locations. New restrictions are rising again for various places around the world as well. Certain areas in Bogota, that would be Colombia, are re-entering an orange alert, and certain hotspot suburbs in Melbourne, Australia, are once again being restricted. Protest-related shootings are continuing. Tip of the day from the Dance Monkeys: don't drive through protests. There have been multiple reports of rioters shooting into vehicles. These reports specifically are increasing nationwide, meaning that if there's a protest, don't go there. Don't drive through there. Don't nothing. Good morning, Potato. You want to be famous on the internet? Okay, Potato. There you go. You can be famous on the internet. Thank you for hopping up into my lap. Outside the New York City Hall, activists clashed with police after the $1 billion cut, actually I think it's $1.46 billion cut to the police budget was announced. As police removed the illegal barricades the protesters had set up, they became enraged, shoving at and striking the cops as they moved into the crowd. They had been mocking the police earlier with calls of "whose streets? Our streets," and "na na 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 hey hey goodbye." I'm not gonna sing it. It's a little early for Bear to be singing, and bears are terrible at singing, and the best of times. HSGI tacos should work. They should. I don't know if they will, but they should. Patriot Plumber. Mine as well, bro. Mine as well. But as we both know, those rounds go both ways. And that's my biggest issue there. Because your vehicle returns fire. Not everybody's vehicle returns fire. And both you and I oftentimes... Nice, Dominic. Nice. Oftentimes have precious cargo in it. Walmart has removed third-party All Lives Matter merchandise after backlash and accusations of mocking Prepping in Progress. Good morning, brother. Thank you. Of mocking the Black Lives Matter movement. And wireless providers in the U.S. have been warned about doing business with Huawei and ZTE due to connections to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Both companies have been officially designated as national security threats. Act on that intel as you see fit. I want to take this opportunity to talk to y'all about vets4childrescue.org. Vets for Child Rescue, Craig Sawyer, Craig Sawman Sawyer, Navy SEAL, Dev Group veteran, been there, done the things, sniper, founded vets4childrescue.org, vets4childrescue.org. And I was blessed to have a conversation with him yesterday morning after the brief, and we are going to be partnering together on a couple of things. And just to suffice it to say, they're a really good organization. They're a really good organization, and I would appreciate it if y'all would go check out. Thank you, Mr. Brees. That link right there. Tell them Bear sent you, and there's a free documentary there called Contraland movie that you can watch. It'll break your heart, but you should watch it, and then you should share it out amongst your sphere of influence, your circle of people, because I don't think y'all grasp the enormity of the child sex slave market in the United States. $150 billion per year. $150 billion market per year. Y'all, that's more than Starbucks. Swamp Woman, bless you. So, you could buy every single NBA team, every single Starbucks in North America, and every single Target retailer in North America, and spend less money than what is spent on child sex trafficking in the United States every year. So, it is the mission of Grindstone Ministries to partner with people who rescue and rehabilitate victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. And that is exactly what Vets for Child Rescue does. They raise awareness. They kick in doors, they develop intel, and they are doing the things, which is why we are partnering with them. So, Vets, the number 4, childrescue.org, vetsforchildrescue.org. Go there, tell them Bear sent you, share it around. Lung clams, I like it. And get educated and educate other people, please. 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. U.S. dairy herds are expected to reach a record contraction this year despite stimulus efforts. Even after reopening restaurants and schools, the supply of dairy is expected to be much lower due to shuttered farms and depopulated herds. Reports of permanent closures, bankruptcies, and layoffs seem to be increasing in frequency. Chuck Philpott, bless you, thank you. NPC International, which operates Wendy's and Pizza Hut, has now filed for bankruptcy. And Airbus, the air manufacturer, it's in their damn name, good job, Bear, will be cutting 15,000 jobs. Under legal, political, and military, Burlington, Vermont City Council has approved a 30% cut to the police department through attrition. The funds for the 74 naturally vacated positions will be reallocated to programs that support people of color. Richard, bless you, brother. Florida's governor has announced that the state will not be reimposing mass restrictions, even with rising infections, as it would not save lives but would certainly cripple the economy. And while Florida's governor and I rarely agree about anything, that I agree with. Shut your face, chickens. Societal in general. Portland, Maine's Board of Education has decided to remove school resource officers from the city's high schools because they're effing morons. Some students at the University of Wisconsin want the Abraham Lincoln statue removed due to his treatment of indigenous and black peoples because they're effing morons. Chaz Chop has officially been reclaimed. Over 30 remaining activists have been arrested and charged for failure to disperse, resisting arrest, assault, and more because they're effing morons. Ryan, we have several roosters, and it's not time to cull any of them because we need our eggs fertilized because we eat chicken here. And if you want your eggs to turn into chickens, you need fertilized eggs and an incubator or a broody hen. And our experience with broody hens has been they're not nearly as good as incubators. So, no, Harmony's rooster did not make it. Cedric the Entertainer bit the dust last night. In fact, I can see his poor body laying from where I'm sitting, and I have to dig a hole in the compost pile in the near future and put him in there. So, but no, if you want to eat chickens, you need roosters in order to be able to continue to eat chickens. Yeah, digging, exactly. It's been my experience that incubators are much better at hatching chicks than broody hens. Yeah, I know. It was Cedric, Okie. It was Cedric, and he's the most entertaining. He was the most entertaining. Now he's worm food because chickens, brief aside for anybody who's not watched any of the homesteading content here or on Patreon, chickens have 3 superpowers, and they do one thing really well. Their superpowers are they make meat, they lay eggs, and they make compost. And what they do really well is die. So if you can get on board with the fact that chickens die, now you know. So, barrenindependent.com is where you go to get all your dead roosters and all your dead rooster supplies. If you have a rooster with a gunshot wound, you're going to, I want shut up meat t-shirts. Roger that. James Cipriano, brother, I know, which is why, even though I hate it, and even though when I talk about it, I definitely feel spiritual pushback, we talk about it. It's why we do what we do at Grindstone. Kelly, give it time. Give it time. But good job. Child sex trafficking is disgusting. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And I feel the spiritual pushback every time I talk about it. Every time we go do what we do. So, barrenindependent.com. Get your IFACs. Isn't that right, Bobby Frisky? You know it. Get your IFACs. Get your t-shirts. The teachable course is there. If you want to get the Prepper Classroom Binder, that is now available as a standalone on the Bear Store at barrenindependent.com. T-shirts, stickers. We love you back, James. You're awesome. Patches, scriptures, whatever floats your boat, as well as American-made badass AVT. Good morning, the Angry Viking Therapist. American handmade badass, guaranteed forever blowout kits, purpose-built blowout kits for dealing with gunshot wounds, basically combat casualty type of stuff. That's it. That's what Barren Independent is about. Go there. Check out the store. Do the things. Spent 8 years in the Navy. First time I held a tourniquet was when I got my bear fac. Kenneth, bless you. Thank you. Single accounts insider intel and miscellaneous. Per Burlington, Vermont's reallocation of funds from the police department, quote, I know several Burlington Police Department officers and they've been struggling for years. The liberal city and government has been handcuffing them for years. Ever since Burlington became a sanctuary city, common sense has disappeared. These poor officers have been doing their best to enforce the law and protect the citizens of Burlington at their own peril. I was told recently that officers have to carry a card in their pocket listing basic questions such as name, date of birth, place of birth, etc. in 23 different languages. Violent encounters are the norm. Manpower reduction will lead to chaos. One viewer notes that more and more plant-based meats are showing up in the meat section with every store trip. It is unknown if this is to make the shelves look fuller or if this is a more permanent change. Pictures of this are on Patreon. A Texas nurse stated that hospitalized patients are counted as a COVID-19 case each time they are tested during their stay. 7 positive tests from one patient means 7 positive cases reported. We're going to read that again because it gets back to the numbers at the opening of the report. Quiet, meat. A Texas nurse stated that hospitalized patients are counted as a COVID-19 case each time they are tested during their stay. 7 positive tests from one patient means 7 positive cases counted. This is exactly what we've been talking about. One viewer notes that the group The New Panthers in his area of Northeast Tennessee are starting to cause trouble. The locals are hesitant to counter-protest to protect property, believing the police would rather protect the rioters and arrest those attempting to prevent the destruction. There are pics of this on Patreon as well. And in international news, China has now begun making arrests according to the newly passed security law. A man holding a flag that said Hong Kong independence was arrested. Actionable. Make sure your fire extinguishers are ready to go. Be aware of the upcoming availability of explosives, aka fireworks. Mr. Brees. Be aware of the upcoming availability of explosives, aka fireworks, and the subsequent risks that they may carry in these times. Paul, thank you, Paul Crunk. You're awesome. Be in communication with your neighbors and your sheriff's department and be prepared as possible as a group for civil unrest. It is real. The new firearms transaction record, we've been talking about this quite a bit. All your information is on the front page. Make sure people aren't snapping pics of your buyer information. Reach out and socially support others. Suicide is on the rise, even amongst children sequestered at home. Make sure your people know that they are loved. You know the deal. If you can't acquire a freezer, look on Bookface or Craigslist or whatever, alternative markets. If you need alternative food resources, Asian supply stores, Amish and Mennonite stores, restaurant supply stores, local farmers, you can form groups to buy direct and process live. If you need medical supplies, bearindependent.com, midwife and veterinarian supply stores. If you cannot obtain seed in your area, plant your dang pantry. Stay politically vigilant and stay active. Go to adventurefrontier.com, buy armor, buy IFAX. Use promo code BEARNATION for $10 off your armor purchase, because we all know at Adventure Frontier you can get armor. You can get IFAX, but no damn fluffy bunnies. I'm about to file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau because I love those guys, but no fluffy bunnies. Unacceptable. Right, Puzzleman? Unacceptable. Adventure Frontier has Spartan armor. They have your 3+, your 4, your steel plates, your multi-hit ceramic, your shooter's cut, your swimmer's cut, the recon chest rig. They got this plate carrier and that thing. They got the Condor Mopsy, the triple curve, the anti-spall coating, the side plates. They got all of that. They have all of that at adventurefrontier.com. They have the bare FAC. They have the bare minimum. They have the active shooter response kit. They don't have battle bunnies. Good morning, NWA Prepper. So armor, check. IFAX, check. Fluffy bunnies, hard pass, bro. No fluffy bunnies. AdventureFrontier.com. That would be a good shirt, bro. No fluffy bunnies. AdventureFrontier.com. Silver linings. We went from living in a fancy suburban neighborhood with ladies who lunch to paying off all of our debt, studying EMS, master gardening, animal husbandry, and stacking food and everything else we might need to the rafters. My husband got handy with building things. We bought 5 acres with beautiful soil and water rights out in the country with a good community. We have a great garden, beef and milk cattle, chickens, and most of a house built. That's how you do it when you move to the country. You get the agricultural stuff spun up and you have most of a house built. My house is mostly done myself. This porch I'm sitting on right now is supposed to be done, but isn't. I feel ya. And most of a house built. We've been living in a trailer as we build so we don't incur any more debt. This has taken 10 years and God willing only 2 more. Who knows how? Who knows anymore? To finish the house. Life is harder, but so much more beautiful. Next viewer said, on Saturday, my wife and I closed on 65 acres of land where we can build our own basic home and expand our current homestead to a much larger garden and add additional animals. This will allow us to focus more on our family and make sure we are food independent. Praise God. A couple that started listening to the channel a few months ago has been developing their land, aggressively paying down debt, and connecting with like-minded people, which came in handy when Antifa came to their town. Thank you, they said, quote, thank you for listening to and doing what the Father puts in your heart. Thank you for speaking his words and creating the Bear Nation. Thank you for creating all this content so that the oblivious idiots like us can learn and improve our chances of surviving. You and your tribe are such a blessing to strangers like us. Please don't ever give up or get discouraged. You're saving lives and futures every day. Damn onion ninja. Thank you. All praise to the Most High. You can find local food resources and like-minded groups at barrenindependent.com in the forums. You can find the Prepper Classroom digital downloads, the Prepper Classroom notebook, the Teachable course. Dudley, good morning, brother. There's a whole classroom. Classroom.barrenindependent.com is live. There's a whole Prepper Classroom online course now that binder goes with. So you can work through it note by note by note by note. Good morning, Matthew. You can find that there. Bare facts, bare minimums, other emergency supplies are all available at the store at barrenindependent.com. Grindstone Ministries. You can support Grindstone Ministries by going to grindstoneministries.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, which you should do if you want to be involved in our next deployments. And I will tell you point blank, this has been the most frustrating time of my life when it comes to scheduling deployments because of this COVID-19 bullcrap. I am well aware that per the Torah, I am commanded to let my yes be yes and my no be no. Meaning that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. Well, damn are we trying to do it. So scheduling has been difficult, and frankly, we're not done fundraising either. We're about 30% of our funds raised that we need to build this chapel. So scheduling without having the funds is difficult in of itself. Scheduling without having the funds during COVID-19 and civil unrest is a whole different story. But you can find us at grindstoneministries.com. You can support us there. You can sign up for the newsletter there. You can drink a cup of coffee from disastercoffee.com. You can get dressed with sanctifiedsupplyco.com. And you can check out Amendment, the #1 Preparedness, amendment1preparedness.com to pre-order an awesome canned ham radio. All of those companies support Grindstone Ministries, and y'all support them. Totally badass. That's it. That's the report. You can find the entirety of this report on Patreon, which is highly recommended, given the fact that every day YouTube censors us a little bit more. Every day they reduce our reach a little bit more. Every day they unsubscribe people from us. We don't have those problems at Patreon. And I'm not saying Patreon is perfect. but I am saying they have been a much better solution for us than YouTube has been. I can say whatever the hell I want and do whatever the hell I want over there. I've been actually gotten several emails like, Bear, how come you're not, like doing like gun reviews and stuff anymore here? I can't do it. I can't do it here. Can't do it. Do it all the time over there on Patreon. I just did a video earlier in the week, 5 guns for ladies on Patreon. Yeah, you can get the Prepper Classroom binder by itself in the store at barrenindependent.com. We got that set up yesterday for y'all because y'all are awesome. And you were hounding me about it. Intel goes to intel at barrenindependent.com. Intel goes to barrenindependent.com. Please send in your intel. Please send in your silver linings. Please send in your reports from around the country and around the world. This Report Daily is a partnership with y'all, the Bear Nation. And if y'all don't show up, I can't show up. So, intel at barrenindependent.com. Let's talk to the Most High. Oh, good morning, Father Yah. Thank you for the opportunity to be on this side of the dirt. Thank you that even though the world is getting progressively stupider every day, that you are sovereign over all things. Thank you for preserving a remnant and making it clear that even though you utterly destroy us time after time because we turn our backs on you, you will always put us back together again if we seek your face. Father, that if we humble ourselves and seek your face, that you would heal our land. I don't know if that land is from sea to shining sea or the land that I'm sitting on right now. But I know that I feel a lot of friction most days because my land is healed. Because I'm good. I'm blessed. I am, Deuteronomy 28, overwhelmed with your blessings. But I look around at a nation full of countrymen who are not. That aren't doing your things and therefore aren't experiencing your blessings. That will not heed your voice and therefore are partaking in the sins and plagues of Babylon. And so, Father, I lift them up to you. That be it your will, the scales would fall off from their eyes and that they would see the reality of what's going on. That they would come to know you. And that good men and good women would turn their face to you and put their knees in the dirt, put their head on the ground and cry out to you and ask you to make them whole. And ask you to steward us through whatever it is that's coming. That you would wake up those that need to be woken up so that they do not squander this opportunity to be set apart to you. That as whatever is coming down the pike, as that comes, as that progresses, Father, that surely you would do nothing without first speaking to your prophets. Amos 3:7, that you'd give us a heads up what is to come, as you already have, as you've been convicting us for years to do this, Father. And I thank you for that. Father, thank you for a beautiful morning. Thank you for the incredible juxtaposition between what the world experiences daily and what I get to experience. Father, I pray that you'd keep us filled up. If there is anything within me or within the sound of my voice that is not of you, that is not of Yahuwah, my Elohim, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to destroy itself, to be gone out of my presence forever, to never return to the sound of my voice. That you would fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, and that we would be indwelt by you. for wisdom and for discernment, for power and authority, for love and compassion, for leadership, for headship, and for stewardship. That we would be Israel, he who has striven with Elohim, he who has overcome with Elohim, and he who is ruling with Elohim. And that you'd remember us this day as we go about the business of doing our broken best to remember you. To walk in the example that Messiah left us until he comes home again and sets things right. I ask all these things in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Soon. Amen. Soon. Technically, July is a sabbatical month for me. I am technically horrendous at sabbatical months. You'll be seeing me around. I cannot more humbly ask you to consider Patreon if you're not already there. You'll see more of me there, more often, with less interference from the powers that be. And I find it more restful to be there. It does not feel like battle every time I show up there. It feels like battle more and more every day as I show up on YouTube. But with that being said, I appreciate the hell out of y'all. You guys are awesome. I have the best job in the world. I really do. And I've got to go do several other facets of what my job looks like every day. So I'm gonna have to run. But I really, really appreciate y'all, Bear Nation. And I'm humbled by the Father every day by what he does and how he does it, and his ability to use broken people to accomplish his perfect will. So just remember, if you find yourself in the shit, his arms are longer than your legs. You cannot run far enough. All you have to do is turn. All you have to do is turn to him and cry out, and he'll be there. Shalom, y'all.